Hello, here I'm is. Let's get down to biz. You know what I'm going to do. It is time for Break On Through. With me, your host, Jeffrey K. Clayton, the long-haired weirdo, I said I'm talking one more time. I'm going to say it, impeachable president for life. At your service, once again, after taking a little absence on election day. Now, we all thought I wasn't going to be here tonight because I told y'all it was going to be Wednesday night. But I had it all planned that me and Trip McNeil were going to go see Baby Metal. Baby Metal Death tonight. Trip still is. You know, the word of 2023 and 2024 was transparency. So I'm going to be transparent with you about a bunch of things tonight. We're going to keep it kind of lighthearted, but we may get a little heavy. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. But, after the Halloween Hayride, I took Monday off. And then it was Tuesday, election day. And I was at work, working class, doing a move I've done 1,000 times. But apparently, time number 1001 was the kicker. And I went to go pick up one of them heavy compressors with a hook, and I think I was leaning too far over. And when I straightened up, man, I felt the muscles in my left lower back just pull. And I was like, oh, you know. It hurt. But I didn't think it was crippling. I was just like, oh, I'm going to have to take it easy a little bit. Well, the pain kind of stayed consistent throughout the week. And then, I was ushering at church on Saturday night. And I told, I said, look, I can do regular ushering, but, I can't do a lot of moving stuff around and stuff because of my back. I didn't want to mess anything up. And everything seemed good until Sunday evening. I was in here packing up a lot of y'all's Falls Count Anywhere records. And, Coleman's always in here with me. You may have heard at the beginning of the show, you may have heard him crying in there. He was crying because Pawpaw disappeared on him. Because I had to break on through. But anyway, he was in here and he had some toys right there in the walkway. So I bent down to pick one up. And man, I'm going to tell you what. It felt like someone took a sledgehammer and hit me right in the lower back. I could not breathe. I could barely move. Sitting down, no relief. Standing up, no relief. In fact, the more I stood up and stretched, the more it hurt. That muscle in the back had knotted up. And I'd gone to a chiropractor on Thursday. But in my muscles' defense, me and the First Lady did eat a bunch of Korean barbecue just an hour or so before this happened. So, all that stuff that's on that stuff could have served as part of the reason that this happened. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band. And I don't work for nobody but you. But anyway, fast forward. Sunday night was rough, man. Like 3 hours sleep. Constant pain. Monday morning I was just being really, really cautious. But this morning on the way to work, I mean, I got thinking about Baby Metal's going to be at the Fillmore. The Fillmore has no seats. Now, they do have this thing where you can upgrade your ticket. And I looked at it to upgrade, and then it went in the upgrade and said, no seats available. So I'm thinking about the mile-long hike from the parking lot, standing for 3 hours, and then hiking a mile back. And I told Tripp, I said, man, listen, I appreciate like you wouldn't believe you offering to do this for me, with me. But I'm going to say, man, if that happens to me again, you're going to have to get me to the car. Or get the car to me, whichever. I said, I think for once in my life, that I will do the smart decision. And I will opt out of Baby Metal. Yes. So there will be no report on Baby Metal because I ain't there. The show starts in an hour, so. Let me show y'all something. See this right here? You may think, well, that's your standard break on through brew there. You got to tell me something. I'm getting ready to tell you something. This is because it was sent to me by Clinton and Valerie Zilla, along with a lot of other stuff. This is homegrown, home-dried hibiscus tea. Here goes. Zillas, I can taste that Kentucky goodness coming right through the glass. Thank you so much. That's great. Yeah, Amy, that color, isn't that brilliant? All right, here's Matthew talking about getting kicked out of Facebook again. Matthew, send me another friend request. And I will put you back on. I don't know what, man. I don't know. Maybe you said something that day, or maybe I just... Man, you know how I am with a phone. I hit the wrong buttons. I like and join stuff all the time that I don't mean to. Nothing personal. Nothing personal. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, it sucks, man. Me and Coleman took a nice long walk today. I'm going to do that every day. Do some back exercises to strengthen it up. Never had a problem with my back. I never had problems with my legs until 60 and 61 started knocking on the door. So, what are you going to do? Working class. Look at this beautiful piece of art. I'm about to poke my eye out with it. Look at that, man. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to open one of these up. This is the Smoky Clear Blood Splattered edition, of which there were only 100 pressed, and of which we are now sold out of. And when I say sold out, I noticed a band member and a firm member freaking out. I'm not going to get me one of them, son. You got to tell me something. But I cut the sale off to where we still had enough to distribute among the people that worked on it, and et cetera, and the band members. But man, I'm gonna take you through this. I know we did it last week at the wheat compound, but man, I'm probably going to do this quite some time until we're sold out of all of them. And one thing I didn't mention, this jacket is printed on an inside out jacket. In other words, it's slick inside and printed black. You're like, well, that wouldn't make no difference. It does make a difference. When you're sitting there holding it in your hand, it makes a big difference. And this is like nice and matte finish. You know, we tried to make it look as much like a 70s or 80s wrestling / boxing poster as we could. And I think we hit it out of the park. Plus, you got this black inner sleeve. And man, here's the blood splattered. Oh, look at that. Man, is that not beautiful? Can y'all see it good? Let me turn the right side up so you can see the name there. I can't go on though. Yeah, only 100 pressed of these. That's not, see, the reason it sold out so quick, it's because I have 50. Well, TKO also has 50. So, TKO put the Mark Raney, the main over there at TKO. I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and put mine on sale. He said, man, go ahead. And he goes, I'm going to put mine on sale November 21st. So, man, if you wanted one of these blood splattered and you was dragging the feet or you was waiting on payday or you staying up late one night and you was watching Tubi or Pluto and you forgot to do it, well then on the 21st you can get one direct from TKO. So all is not lost. You're right, Amy. That is hibiscus smoky clear vinyl. Man, this is some good hibiscus tea. So, we still have the red and yellow. Tons of red and yellow. Man, I've been at it today ever since I got home, ever since me and Coleman came in from the walk. I put him on some Ultraman here on TV, and I've been making postage labels ever since, boxing records up. Falls count. Antiseen Store .bigcartel.com. Hit it and get it. All right. You know, I was telling you about that transparency. I'll be transparent. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to give you all the highlights, the ups and downs, the highs, the lows, the twos and the fros of the Texas, Louisiana Halloween Hayride. Matthew wants to know who I got Friday, Mike Tyson or Jake Paul. Man, Tyson. Tyson is going to mop the floor with that kid. I believe it. Chip, any chance of releasing Christmas 76 on streaming platform? Man, you know what, Chip? That ain't a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. Let me talk to my people and get that underway. Well, Texas, Louisiana Hayride. I would say highs and lows. Man, the thing about it was there was no lows. Now, there were some level offs, but one thing you got to understand, man, this lineup of the band is so enjoyable to hang around and, of course, play music with that there's never any low points to the trip. The only low point was that the shows were not very well attended. Now, everybody blamed the clubs for there not being any advertisement from the clubs, and I believe that. I do believe that, because in this day and age, clubs are going to be lazy because they figure out social media, they can put it on their calendar and everybody sees it. That's not right. You've got a constant, man. It's just like it's just like the old days. You got a carny, you got to work it, but it's just a different medium. That's all there is to it. And we did our best, all we could do. But the set list was amazing. I think we played it good. It was great seeing people we had not seen in years. And I'm going to tell you this. It was really good for me to be back in Austin. Now, people can say whatever they want to say about Austin, and it's this, that, and the other. But I'm going to tell you, Austin has always been good to Antiseen. And even though this crowd was small, man, it was still good. And amazing band playing with us and Josephus and the George Jonestown Massacre. Sabbath Crow. We saw them for the first time, and I think I speak for the whole group. We were really blown away by them. They were really good, and I suspect you'll be seeing more pairings with Sabbath Crow and Antiseen. But man, it was great to see and listen to Josephus and the George Jonestown Massacre for 4 nights in a row. It was great to see Rancid Vat again. Blood Drunk played with us in Shreveport. Shreveport's where this happened. Y'all notice that yet? I guess I pointed the wrong side. This side. That happened in Shreveport. Pretty good one. But let's see, what else, man? San Antonio is always fun, man. That was the funnest crowd, I think, San Antonio. Said that kind of precedent has been set for the last 5-6 years, or maybe 10 years. San Antonio for us was always really, really good. But yeah, Jeff Martin, one of the people I got to see. I got to stand there with him in person, not just in cyberspace. So great to see you again, Jeff. And Craig. Jerry from the Bulimics. Everybody coming out to 999, gonna have a good time. And we did. We had a great time. I used a line that Joe and I used to use on stage. We'd switch off using it, but we got it from Elvin Bishop. There was an Elvin Bishop album called Live Raising Hell. Y'all should listen to it sometime. If you want a starting place for Elvin Bishop, listen to that. But there's a song where he goes, and I'm paraphrasing, but we kind of adapted it to our reality years ago, so I don't know what the actual thing. But he says, the club is not full tonight. I do not give a damn. So you don't need a lot of people to have a good time. People's not here is one's missing all the fun. You don't need a lot of people to have a good time. Best time I ever had in my life, there wasn't but 2 of us. Still good after all this time. But nah, man, we really enjoyed ourselves. And like I said, Josephus and them are great touring partners. Because they're a great band. A band you like listening to and watching every single night. I'm just looking at my list. Halloween Hayride. Walt, I see you're here. If you'd chime in and let me know if there's anything I needed to discuss, man. We just see our pictures of the historic sites around Hattiesburg, Mississippi, where the Graves brothers used to play in the churches on the Sundays and the honky tonks on the Saturday night, man. We went to the church where it all happened. Of course, it's been rebuilt after all those years. Yeah, Malcolm's here. Okay, good. Hey, Malcolm, are you doing Tent Talks Tunes tomorrow night? Jeff Martin, he says Stuckey's. Now, I think Bucky's has taken over where Stuckey's. All right, I'm going to put this in a phrase that comes from the Planet of the Apes comic book. Where Stuckey's once ruled supreme, now rules Bucky's. Yep, Josephus, and then Made Us Sweat. I like a band that goes on and lays it down. And that way we can't lay down. You know what I mean? Malcolm Tent says there will be a Tent Talks Tunes tomorrow night. Well, I'm glad we didn't. I scheduled Break On Through for tomorrow, forgetting that there would probably be a Tent Talks Tune. So I'm glad we ended up not stepping on each other's broadcast toes in that way. December 7th, 2024, at the Milestone in Charlotte, North Carolina. 8 p.m. Opening the night will be Mobile, Alabama's favorite sons and daughter. I'm talking about none other than Future Hate. That's right, direct from Mobile, Alabama. And you're thinking, well, dang, if Future Hate's the first band of the evening, what's the rest of the evening going to be like? Well, I'm going to tell you. After Future Hate, we got Dallas Tetanus. All right, Dallas Tetanus, my brother's band. They have 3 new records out. You can get 2 of them from me. I need to put the LP up on the Big Cartel Store because I have some of those here. And of course, everyone's favorite teenage rock and roll combo, the up and coming Antiseen. And now I'm not going to go into too much to it this far in advance, but I'm going to tell you this. This is going to be an Antiseen show like y'all have never seen. Yeah, it's not going to be the standard fare. And you know, I guess as it gets closer, I'm still not going to get too much into it because I want y'all to just come out and see what I'm talking about. Come out and see what I'm laying down. I'm going to say something right now. And when I say this, I've got to issue a warning, okay? Do not write to me volunteering your services. Don't. Because You got to understand something. When we did the 40th anniversary show and I announced the date, it was amazing. The groups I'd never heard of, ever in my life, never heard of them. Right, me offering their services to be the opening band, and I'm just like, and I said this to one band. I actually wrote this. After this, I just started ignoring them, which I will ignore them for this too. But I said, man, do you not think that after 40 years we don't know some people? We know people. But I'm going to say this. I'm not going to get into too much detail yet. I'm still waiting. Well, I'll tell you, the bill is already set, and the bill is going to be amazing. But I'm going to say this. Rule Breakers Ball. Rule Breakers Ball. 2025. Spartanburg, South Carolina. September 19th and 20th. All right, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything else. And I know tonight my inbox is going to be filled up with, hey, you got to put us on that bill, son. Bill's already full. When we do something, it's already taken care of. It's already ironed out. It's ironed out. It's already figured out. And we ain't little rascals. Let's put on a show. And then, no. We're General Patton. Well, that's all I'm going to say about that. Well, now, so all I can think to remind you of is, man, get you some falls count anywhere, because falls do count anywhere when Antiseen is in town, man. Look at that, is a beautiful, man. When I got to the Wheat compound and we took these out to look at them and chest beat, pat ourselves on the back and all everything, I couldn't stop looking at it. And Dave Norton did a great job on the front and back cover. Wonderful job, Dave Norton, firm member. All right, here's the part where it gets a little heavy. He is heavy. He's my brother. I know a lot of people are really upset about the election results. And I'm going to tell you something. Before you start rolling your eyes, reaching for your thing to hit the little X or to swipe up and boot me out of here, I'm not going to... All right, I did chest beat and browbeat and everything about false county, but I'm not going to about this, okay? And I know one person in particular in Hattiesburg, Mississippi right now is going, Dad, that's like what you mean? You ain't going to chest beat. But I'm not. But I think people today in 2024 are acting insane. Now, I know this was before 2024, but there's some kind of movement for B. It started in South Korea and it spread to here. Women are shaving their heads, doing this, doing that, doing that, not having sex with men, not hating men, all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, well, you know what? Good. From what I understand, I'm not in the game anymore. You see, because I have a beautiful wife the first lady in there. I don't need to be in the dating game. So, but you know what? When they do that, well, that makes it easy on the guys that are out there that are in the game now. At least you know which ones you don't even have to bother with. Boy, you know dang well I ain't talking about John Ross. Person I'm talking about probably sitting across from you listening to this right now. But, okay, you know, shaving heads, okay, whatever. And the thing, and I'm going to tell you that this, man, this hit close to home, man, like home, right in that next room. Our daughter, Katie, lost a good friend last week over this. Now, her friend is a college student, African American, female, and which I don't have a problem with any of those traits. But when you go in there and you fall hook, line, and sinker for the indoctrination, which there is, and you can say there isn't, but there is. But they have swallowed it, hook, line, and sinker, and demanded from our daughter to tell her who she voted for. Well, the answer was not the person she voted for. So anger ensued, and a long list of finger-wagging reasons came out. One is like, how could you vote on the side of the Ku Klux Klan? The Klan. An organization formed by the Democrats. But I don't recall anyone seeking Klan endorsement. And even if you did, what is it like? What the hell is that? 15 votes? But I was really sad for her, because here you know, I was sad for her, but I was also proud of her, because she said to me, I almost said I don't want to talk about it, and then I almost picked her candidate's name just to avoid the argument, but then I said, no, you know what? I'm not ashamed. I'm standing my ground. And she told her who she voted for. And I told her I was very proud of her for standing her ground, and I am. But all the conspiracy stories coming out, I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm just hoping this next 4 years coming up, starting in 2025, that we will all see some big changes, good changes for everyone. When I say everyone, I mean every single person in the United States of America. Now, there is a chance that a lot of it may get derailed, and it may not be as wonderful as we hope. That's just life there now. I can't control any of it. But, man, people got to stop spreading all the BS. I am so glad that one thing that happened in 2024 was that the people of this country deemed the mainstream media and celebrities null and void. Celebrities, you need to learn something. We only want to be entertained by you. We don't want you to tell us how to run our lives. Our lives are very, very different. You do not identify with the way we live. do not have the same problems we have. So stop getting on your high horses and thinking you can identify with us, because you cannot. And we showed you that we don't care what you think. And as far as the mainstream media, I mean, I've been hearing all kinds of stuff. I've been hearing, I don't know if this is true or not, man. You got to consider every source. You can't just go, well, that's from that side of the aisle, or that's from this side of the aisle, so it's got to be. Man, it's all. Social media is full of BS, man. Full of it. Full of it. For instance, did you see the Jeff Clayton musical legend shirt that's going around on social media now from some Chinese bot? There's a prime example of the BS. But I'm going to tell you this, man. All you that get on there, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, whatever, you get on there and you start spewing all the division and hatred that you do. Now, I know we get accused of that, and everybody does. But you know what I'm talking about. And the mainstream media were the main culprits. And I'm going to tell you something. If any of that is true, if any of that has got any truth to it whatsoever, that people have killed themselves over this, that blood is on your hands. You did that. This is me, working class America, looking you right in the face and saying, you did it. How do you sleep at night? I'll tell you how I sleep at night. With a clear conscience and a nice big old jar of hibiscus tea. And I want to go back to tell you about something else, man. This is something that I learned this past Saturday in church. Encounter Charlotte. Remember I told you how they're taking up money, and they were not only just bringing food, water, clothing. They're buying chainsaws, all kinds of tools, stuff that these people need to put themselves back into a decent living situation, because it's still bad, y'all. I know the election kind of bulldozed a lot of the consciousness about this, but not for us down here. Man, the people are still hurting. Our church is still taking up money, and man, if anybody cares to contribute, $5, $10, if you can do $100, if you can do $50, if you can do $1,000, man, I'm telling you, this organization, I would not endorse them here on Break On Through if I didn't know for 100% this was a trustworthy organization. I wouldn't do it. But if you go to encountertoday.com, that'll take you right to the page where you can make contributions. And this money is going to help people. There's no, the first $25,000 we have to put in expenses. They don't do that. Matter of fact, I want to tell you a quick story. That happened. We heard of this Saturday. There was a church up in that area that was lending their building to be like a staging area for people to bring stuff, people to come get it, and take it to where it needs to go. So they have everything nice and in order, and they know what they have, and when they come, oh, I'm going to this area, we need, they give it to them and they take it. Well, one thing that the people from that church, I wish I had. We were told the name. It wasn't just made anonymous, okay? But I can't. Old JC can't remember some detail. But this church, I guess they got their power back and everything. But man, the inside of their church was destroyed by water. It's like under 4 feet of water. Everything destroyed. They gutted it. But do you know that not one time did they ever bring it up? It wasn't one of them cases where, oh yeah, you can stay just up here, but I gotta tell you something, we got all our churches messed up there, son. They didn't say a word. Some of our people went up there and saw for themselves what was going on. They saw that they had laid down particle board for floor and breaking off, some of the wet walls and stuff, and they said, "What happened?" They knew what happened, but they were like, "How much would it cost to build this place back? To make it like it was?" They said, "We need at least 20 grand." I know in the grand scheme of things, 20 grand is not that much, but for some people, it might as well be 2 million. These are small country churches. Oh man, this past Saturday we raised $20,000 in one service from people online, people in the audience, our special guest for the week. Her organization donated. They got the $20,000. That $20,000 is going straight to that church. Now, I saw this with my own. Now I wasn't there when the money exchange happened, but I saw this. Okay. And I would not even say anything about this on my program if I didn't 100% believe in it. So, man, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. If you can donate anything at all, encountertoday.com. Now, I know how some of y'all feel about churches. I know how some of you feel about Christianity. I know how some of you feel about religion. But I'm telling you, the government does not have their hands in this in any way, shape, or form, not even a small pinky finger. This is people not only putting their money where their mouth is, but putting it where it needs to go without greasing the wheels. So there you go. There you have it. Now to lighten it up a little bit, I'm going to do something for you I meant to do on the Texas, Louisiana Halloween Hayride, but I never did get. Maybe you get this at the milestone. Maybe you get this at the milestone. I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Thank you for being here, everybody. Don't forget to join Malcolm Tent tomorrow night on Tent Talks Tunes on the Malcolm Tent Facebook page. Remember, Antiseen loves you. I love you. God loves you. Thank you for being here with me. Good night, everyone. Have a great week. Have a better weekend. And I'll see you next Tuesday.